Hey everybody, how you doing? Coach for the Soul, Thursdays at 3 has begun. So we'll see who pops on here. I think it's Thursday, right? Yes, it is. Bum-ba-dum. Hello, Susan. How's it going? Hello. I'm doing amazing today. I had just had about just about 2 hours of amazing, amazing stuff. Hey Vic, I just finished my Telos books, the third volume of that, and I took a journey, and oh my gosh, whew, Lord, today is an Ascension Day. Hey Carson, how's it going? How are you? Is everything good? Yeah. So, things are really, really good. Today's just been very, I don't know, I'm going to talk about it in Coach for the Soul. Very interesting day. Very interesting. Yes, yes, yes. So, it's a beautiful day outside. I just checked the temperature, like 71 degrees in Sterling Heights. Really? In March. Beautiful. In the cloud, it's just beautiful. The clouds are like broke and it's sunny outside, and man, it's good. It's very good. Very, very good. Yes. There's 7 people on, but everybody hasn't shown themselves yet. So, got a little bit of a dry cough. I don't know where that came from. So, Susan keeps popping in and out. She keeps popping in and out. She's here, she's not here. So, yeah. Yeah, Carson, I'm really good. Hey, Kathy. Kathy just got a new house, everybody. A brand new house. Just built in Jackson. Lucky her. It's beautiful, too. It's out in the middle of, it's out in the country. It's pretty great. She deserves it, that's for sure. We all do, right? Ooh, I just got chills with that. I know. Yep. So Kathy's, Kathy, the chief blessed your house, he said. Yeah, he's here right now. That's interesting. In full dress. Hi, Amanda. How are you, my dear? Hi, Laura. How are you? Namaste to you, too. How's everybody doing? Yes, today is a very interesting day. I'm going to talk about it in just about a minute or two. Yeah. So, interesting. And I just posted, interestingly enough, I just posted my first video that I ever put on Facebook, on my YouTube channel. I just posted it. Hi, Veronica. How's everything in Sweden? It's beautiful here in Detroit today. It's 71 and it's partly sunny and the sun's out and it's weirdly windy because it's spring, and yeah, it's pretty great. Pretty great, pretty great, pretty great. Myself and Lee and Bailey are good. Very good, Amanda. Thank you. Yep. Ooh, Veronica, stormy in snowstormy or stormy in spring stormy? Like windy and rainy. Because Veronica lives in Sweden, you guys. She's 6 hours ahead of us. Yes, yes, yes. Ryan, what's up, my brother? Oh, Veronica got more snow in Sweden. Oh, gosh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Won't be there much longer, Spirit just said. Right? That's for sure. Okay, so I think we're going to start. Like I said, I have a dry cough. I don't know what it is. It comes and goes sometimes. So I don't know what it is. I had it before. I think I had it spring last year too. So we'll see what it'll usually just end up going away. Okay, so, Laura's in Sarasota. So Susan, Laura A. Wright lives in Sarasota, my dear. Susan is moving to Sarasota this year with her dad. Yep. Spirit just said, he's firm on that, Susan. So you be prepared when it pops up. Okay, be prepared when it pops up. Okay, I just woke up from a nap, so it's very interesting. So I finished my last Telos book, okay? And I was guided. Well, first I'm going to start at the beginning. Have you guys seen my posts from a person named Phil Good? Okay. I'll tell you the story because it's pretty interesting how things just show up when they're supposed to show up, right? And this was, I think I talked about it last week too, where I had gotten a message, or I wasn't understanding what was going on with my energy, and I got a message from Phil Good, okay, on Facebook Watch, and he's a pretty cool guy, younger guy, and it's so interesting how they bring you what you need, right? Without even knowing it, right? I know they're getting us ready to move there to Maui, right? I just don't know how we're going to get there and how all of the specifics yet, right? So it shows up. It talks about the fear of money and blah 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 blah. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that resonates so much with me. That's me totally, right? And so I've been working on it for probably the last 2 weeks, let's say, really focused on it. And today, I took my walk because it was nice outside. And I've been feeling kind of weird this week because I haven't had any readings at all. I haven't had one reading this week, and it's Thursday, right? And because I'm only going to do regular price readings. And I know that it's a test, right? It's a test because I don't have a lot of money in my bank account, right? And usually that triggers me to run specials, right? But it's interesting, I don't do a lot of readings during the special either, right? And I've said this before, that they're weaning me off of that to get me to read the Telos books and do things like that. But they still have to take care of me, right, financially. And I know that they obviously will eventually. So I saw this video and it resonated with me. I've been working on the fear, right? Because fear is a lower vibrational energy, right? It is third dimension. It does not allow you to move forward, does not allow you to ascend, right? You can't, and I've talked about this many, many times with women who are tired of dating bottom feeders, right? That you have to raise your vibration for the man to find you. I got the same thing from the video from Phil Good 2 weeks ago. Okay, Bill, you have to raise your vibration out of the bottom, out of that 3D energy, so that the money can find you, so that you can raise up and it's there. Bonus. So I've been doing work here, there, and everywhere, trying to not actively doing things, but just being conscious and really trying to understand. And then when it happens, my heart gets really scared, like all the time. With anything that I need to deal with, it's around my heart. And Spirit tells me that's the majority of people, if they would just focus and understand that that's where they carry it. Hi, Laura. And I've always had it right here, right? So, been working on that, letting it go. Yesterday, took Bailey for a walk and fearful a little bit. Again, it just comes and goes, right? Because it's trying to trigger me. It's trying to get me to go, oh my gosh, and I'm not. And yesterday, Spirit said, let that energy go. And I saw, and happens during Steve Noble meditations. black whiffs of energy come off my body and I can see them, right? Because I'm letting it go. Bonus. And so today, interestingly enough, I took a walk. Bailey was asleep. I took a walk for about 45 minutes around the complex. It was nice outside. I'm starting to get more and more back into exercising because it's been so long since I have. And this is like the fourth walk I've taken in like 5 days, which is pretty good. 6 days, the old body's kind of going, what the hell are you doing moving, right? And so today on the walk, it was not anything spiritual, it was just being, right? Just being. And come home and jump in the shower, get out of the shower, and I am urged to read the Telos book. Okay, got the same urging 2 days ago and didn't do it. I don't know what I was focusing in on, right? So I did that. I had lunch. I did the shower. I had lunch. Took the dog out again. Sat down on the couch. The last, 15, 16, 17 pages of the Telos book. Went into great meditation. I am blessed with the ability, when they do meditations in the book, because of my clairvoyancy is so strong, I can read the meditation out loud and I can be in that meditation, which, again, separation, right? It's very cool. I mean, because I say to Spirit, I'm like, okay, how am I going to do this meditation if I have to read it? I don't understand. He goes, well, just read it. And I'm like, okay. And they take me there, right? I go into this trance and it's very awesome. And so I did one meditation about the, I can't remember. I'm going to hang on, guys. Look at Maui for a minute. There we go. Okay, because Spirit wants me to talk about this and do it the right way. So I'm going to go back here. The resurrection flame, okay? And I may do a video on this. I'll have to ask Spirit because when I started the Telos books probably 6 months ago, last summer I think it was, when I met Laura Gutman and she was my messenger, right? And so I started reading them last year, and I'm not a reader. It's the first books I've ever read since 1974, right? A long time. They don't read well. I don't comprehend in my mind when I'm reading, right? I have to talk out loud, and I was never in the place of needing to do it. And this wasn't really a need. This was a need. Spirit says it was I needed to have the information, right? I needed to read it out loud, and whenever I did in the books, it resonated with me. But understanding the resurrection flame, the resurrection energy is very, very, very very important. And I'm going to read this. I'm going to read this really quick. The resurrection energy is a key vibration for attaining immortality of the human body. If you want to shift the body right now without going through the process of physical death, the resurrection flame will greatly assist you. What is cool about that is that you can sit in resurrection flame, right? You can imagine it, right, in your mind's eye. And you can and you can put the word, or you can put the feeling, or you can put whatever you want in the resurrection flame, which is they describe it as being, summertime sunset when it's orange and yellow and really pretty and wonderful. That's what they say it is, only there's more orange. It's orange and yellow. They kind of say golden. But if you do that, and I did that today with the fear, and I'll tell you what, miraculous. Okay? And I've said before, when I read the books, I can normally read for like maybe 20 minutes, a half an hour, and then I got to take a nap. Well, today I had this tenacity where it's just like Spirit just said, keep going, because they wanted me to finish it. Okay. And I know, yes. And the reason they wanted me to finish it is to be prepared to receive the money. Okay. Which excites me like crazy. But I may end up doing not a meditation, a video on this, because it is very, very amazing. And I think that parts of it, that everybody can kind of understand and can kind of learn from it, right? And be okay with that, right? Be okay with that. So, okay, I'm going to read another passage because he says I'm supposed to. Surrendering to the lessons you need to learn is the key to walking through them quickly. Your life will then change, and you will not have to grapple with the rest of your life with the same lessons. You can move into a new experience that brings you more joy. Lessons don't always have to be difficult to learn. They become difficult for those who have chosen again and again through many incarnations to ignore them. Bingo. I know. I know. From past lives. Okay? And and Spirit has talked about this before, about lack, right? How generation after generation of generation of all people is lack, right? And understanding that is in your DNA, right? Again, my parents grew up. Hi, Trisha. Hey, Emily. My parents grew up in the Depression, right? Well, my mother was tighter than bark on a tree. I mean, tight. She was socking away money. She wasn't going to be poor when my mom and dad retired. Okay, so when she died at 59, and I've told this story before, I was 28 years old. My sister was 26. She was 59 years old, and my dad started getting checks in the mail. He didn't understand why. What are these checks about? No one knew. Well, my sister at the time was in banking, and so she investigated a bunch of things, and she found that my mom had stuffed away all this money so they wouldn't have to be poor when they retired. So they could have anything they wanted until they died in their 80s or whatever, right? Well, Mom exited at 59. So my dad, thankfully enough, had this money that he was able not to have to worry about anything, because my dad worried about money too. Again, depression, right? Growing up in the Depression, growing up in any sad state where you don't have things. Hi, Elizabeth. That it makes an impact on your DNA, right? Because you internalize it, right? You don't eat the right food, you don't get enough sleep, you're packed into a house, whatever it might be, right? So, over the book, yes. This is book 3, Veronica, okay? You can get it on Amazon, but I've got all 3, 1, 2, and 3. They're pretty amazing books, you guys. Hi, Lori. Oh, hey, Lori. What's going on? I miss talking to you. So Elizabeth says, how do we know what lessons we need to learn? You need to make a list of everything that drives you freaking nuts. What is it that you need to work on? What is it that are lessons? Right? Again, I had 13 years of therapy for that, right? Boys, and boys. And money, and, me being the third boy, and being gay, and, being clairvoyant, and all the things that comes with being a Capricorn, and, all these things that are who I was, and then having the great knowledge that I had, but didn't know where it came from. And now I understand where that came from, right? Because of my abilities to connect with Spirit and my guides and things, right? So Elizabeth, that's how you know. Okay? Just have a sit session, right? Just sit. Be calm. Right? And just talk. Okay, Spirit, you need to help me with I need a list, and you make a list, right? And Spirit says that many things on the list are conjoined. So once you clear one thing, you might clear 4 things at the same time. See? It's very, 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 that's true. That's very, very true. Yeah. So this today was like this, I know. Spirit says it was an epiphany, right? It was all kinds of things going on, all these abilities. He said abilities of remembrance, abilities of knowing, and preparing for my future. Because this morning again, Phil Good popped up on my Facebook page again with 2 new videos, and I watched both of them. And I'm always saying, yes, that's right. Yes, that's right. That's right. The energy right now is starting to clear, right? But it's also pulling a lot of people through their emotional bullshit, right? Pulling people through, giving it, I know, Spirit says, giving them the opportunity to clear it, okay? And by just saying, okay, Spirit, I need you to take this from me, right? I'm thinking about da-da-da today. I need you to help me. I need you to take this away from me. And then when it happens, you go, oh my gosh, thank you. And then you got to be conscious enough to understand that when ego wants to bring it back up and infect you again, Spirit says, you got to say, oh, hell no, I'm not doing that. Ego, I'm not doing that. I am not doing that, not doing that, not doing that. Okay? And as of today, our great president signed the $1.9 trillion bill, and our $1,400 checks will start coming next week. And there's money for people who have kids and all the things that Spirit had talked about, right? Last year, before the election, it is all coming true. It is all, I'm telling you, it is going to change America. And it's going to change the way that people think about who we're supposed to be. We have to take care of each other. We have to, right? As President Biden said, it is going to lift 50% of the poor up, because people are going to have tax credits for their kids. They're going to get money every month for their children. I think it's $300 a child every month, or something like $150. I'm not really sure exactly what it is. But that's what we should be doing, right? Again, like Spirit said last year, right? That the Democrats would win the White House. The Democrats would win in the Senate, right? They would retain the House, and things in America would change starting in January, okay? And then even when Spirit said, he's been saying this probably since, I think before January, maybe it was January, about early spring, right? Early spring, March and April being good months, the summertime being fantastic, and understanding that it is healing and it's wonder, and it is getting vaccinated so that we can be together again. And even if it's a Johnson & Johnson, it's still going to keep you out of the hospital and keep you from dying. So you know what? It's all good because COVID's not going away yet, right? And we have to take care of each other. That's what the bill's about, right? See? So I'm fascinated that I was right. I mean, the channeling was right. And he's laughing, saying, well, why wouldn't it be right? You know, because I can't channel for myself, right? I do for other people. And I don't always know if things happen the way that Spirit told them it was going to happen, right? So that's why he got me done with this, right? To raise my vibration enough to be up there so that so I can receive the money I need to move. Lee and I need to move to go to Maui, okay, and Bay, right? And my sister went to her person in I don't know, Phoenix or Colorado yesterday, whatever it was, that does her readings and things. And yeah, you're moving to Hawaii, which I always actually knew. I don't need somebody to give me confirmation, but I'm like, okay, when? I didn't ask, so I know when it is. It's probably going to be at the end of next month, which is quick. But I know. He says, but being open to receiving, being open to the possibilities, being open to what you need to clear, being open to what you need to work on, right? Being open and understanding that what you carry, you need to release, right? What you carry, you need to release, right? Understanding that as we all know, right? Are you ready to let it go? Because I can tell you straight out, right, how hard I worked in therapy. And my therapist, Stefan, would say, Bill, you're my favorite client. I'm like, why? Because you want to get better. I'm tired of being sad. I'm tired of being angry. I'm tired, right? And I think that's what every human being goes through, right? And then I did the same thing during this ascension process that started 7 years ago, this coming July, right? Is them getting you ready for the next. Them getting you ready for the next. But you have to allow them to do that, right? You have to you have to allow them to move you forward, right? Out of third dimensional energy, out of chaos, he says, and out of disruption, and out of the muck, right? And Spirit has talked about the muck before. That you have to be conscious, right? You've got to totally be conscious all the time. Oh hell no! You can't all the time. You can't all the time, because if you're all the time, you won't be able to even think, right? Because you're constantly picking out things that you have to work on until you don't. Spirit says, until you don't. See, being able to understand that I know. He says when the big issues show up, that's the one that you have to work on. He says, but knowing what they are is super, super important. Super important to knowing what they are, right? Hi, Holly, right? So it is, it is so important to know. If you don't know, ask, right? Sit someplace quiet, right? If you got to cry, cry. If you got to talk. I'm telling you, it makes all the difference in the world, you guys, because I know, Spirit says, you have to keep your energy flowing. You have to keep your energy moving. He says, there's no worse thing than allowing yourself to suffer, which is true. Allowing that energy that is not yours, right? That is there to trigger you to go, I need to get this out of my body. I need to get this out of my head, because they're connected through ego. Okay? They truly are, right? And so understanding that, Spirit says, oh, this button's not button. That's kind of weird. It's the only way to rid yourself of that energy is to think of, that's weird. It just needed to reconnect. Veronica, what you do, Veronica just said, how shall I see? Hey, Joe, how are you? How shall I see the right sign? You'll know it. You'll know it. Yeah. Happy Thursday to you, Joe. You'll know because it will resonate with you, Spirit says. Okay? You'll know because you'll be like, okay, or ask, Spirit says. Ask, okay, so what is that? And I ask that a lot. So Spirit, what's that? What's that? I don't understand that. At least you're giving them something, right? And Veronica, Spirit says, you can text Bill too. He'll give you confirmation. Yeah, don't do that stuff. Facebook message me, right? Just send me a message. Yeah, see? Because it's all about giving you the tools, Spirit says, to recognize it when it happens to you. And that's the truth, right? I didn't know for the longest time. I'm like searching for stuff, right? Hi, Suze, how's it going? I'm searching for stuff here and there. And finally, Spirit just said, stop. What? I have to search. Stop. Just stop. So when I started to stop, right, I started to receive. I started to go, oh, that's what that is. Hey, Michelle. Oh, that's what that is too. Again, I know. Spirit is kind of like the Telos books, right? That I didn't know my own story. I didn't know my programming, he says. I didn't know. He said, you're not familiar with the, what is that? He calls it teletype. The programming, he says, that you came with, okay? He says, and the more that you searched, the less you were able to access. Hey, Billy, how's it going? Thanks for joining me today. The less you're able to access the information that you came with, the coding that you came with. Yes. Yeah, Joe. Hello, Pamela. Joe says, Spirit likes when I ask questions to clarify. They love that stuff. They love it. Why? Because they know that you are connected to them. They know that you're allowing yourself to be led, right? That maybe not all the time yet, but you will. But you will, you know. And that's what it's all about. That's why Spirit has always said to me, and he wants me to promote that, right? Say out loud, what is that? I don't understand what that is. Why did that happen? What is that about? You got to help me with this because I'm confused. I don't know. I'm confused. Again, during that transformation, Spirit says, again, we're being pulled forward into fourth and fifth dimension, right? Where our souls, hey, Kimberly, our souls, and we're up to our butt in muck, right? They're trying to wiggle us free. It's wintertime in Detroit, right? Whatever. And then all of a sudden he says, we will pluck you out of there and move you forward. But you have to allow that, right? That I'm not afraid. Cool. Spirit, do it. I'm ready. You know, whatever you got to do to get me there, I'm cool with that, right? And they will, when you're not looking. Trust me. It'll always be like today. Did I have any intention of reading the rest of that? No. I had thought about it. I was triggered by it yesterday or 2 days ago, and I didn't do it. I thought, you know what? I really need to go back and read something in there that kind of resonated with me. There was a mantra. Yeah, there was a mantra in there that I really wanted to learn, right? Either take a picture of it and learn it, or you know, probably just take a picture of it and learn it. Blah blah blah. Right? I didn't even get there. They had other intentions, right? Bill, just put your nose in the book. Put your nose in the book, Bill. And so this afternoon, I've done nothing at all except for this. And that's the next thing we're going to talk about, okay? Is just being. Just being. If the universe gives you the time, if they clear your slate, be. You don't always have to be doing something. You believe that because if I sit and think, then that means, oh my God, I'm going to be a mess. So your ego says, do this, do this, do this, do this. Because that's what that's what we've learned over time, right? Right? And why do we learn that? We learn it from our parents, right? Especially my parents. My mother, we had to do everything. My mother didn't do anything but cook dinner at night, and that was about it. And lunch, if we were home for lunch, that was it. Loved us to death, took care of us, things like that. Hi, Chrissy, how's it going? Thank you for your donation last week, Chrissy. I appreciate that. And so it's interesting how now I can look back at that time and understand, right? That I learned everything in my childhood, right? Of who I am, of who I've been. And probably the same lessons came to me when I was in another lifetime, right? Possibly. Some of the lifetimes that I've had in the, 7,000 years my soul's been around or whatever it is, right? So understanding that and having to break that, having to go, okay, you know what? I don't have to, right? Because I was always busy as a kid, as a young adult, as a middle-aged person. I never sat and just sat. Never, I didn't do that because I never had that energy, right? I always had the urgency. I always say the urgency energy, right? As a Capricorn, most of us do. I had to learn to break that. I had to learn to break that energy and tell myself it's okay to just be, to just sit. And that was difficult. I was in my car, driving someplace, going. So COVID worked for me very, very, very well. Very well. Because I don't go anyplace, right? Until I get vaccinated. My first vaccination didn't go through. I was not old enough or something. So I'm getting it tomorrow at Beaumont in Southfield. And that's bonus, right? And then 2 weeks later, we'll get the other one. And then Lee and I will both be vaccinated, and that'll be a bonus thing, right? So then I'm not gonna let my guard down, but I'm gonna be more conscious of the fact that I'm vaccinated. I know. Spirit says, you're not Superman, but you won't have to have that worry, okay? And I know that both of us will be, that once I get vaccinated, because Lee already is, that's when we will move, okay? Because it's gonna be easier to be able to get into Hawaii, and that's what it's all about, without all the paperwork and all the other stuff that comes with it. Because all his paperwork is done. See, so understanding, right, that when they tell you to be, you have to be. And Spirit told me this years ago. We can do this one of two ways. You can take care of yourself and eat right and get enough sleep and quit drinking so much soda, or I can make you sick so that you have to lay on the couch for 2 days. So you have to miss work. Yeah, see? And I'd be like, okay, that's great. Sure, that's great. Oh my gosh, okay. And I wouldn't do it. Okay, well now I look back and go, and I'm going to tell you why I got this. I watched one of Phil Good's videos 2 days ago, right? Popped up on my YouTube, popped up on my Facebook Watch again, right? And it was about that you can work that you can put in all the, hey Gregory, you can put in all the energy you want to chasing that money, right? You can work 9 to 9. You can work this, you can do this, you can do this. And guess what? When you get the money, you spend the money, you live different. But you're always chasing the money. And I've chased money. I've sat down. I'm like, this is within the last 2 weeks. I've sat down and went, I've chased money my entire life. My entire life. Okay? 10 years old, helping a guy deliver papers in our neighborhood, and he'd give me money or whatever it was. And at 12 years old, I got my own paper route, right? The largest paper route in Jackson, 12 years old, making $300 a month. I was rich. And I spent every dime, and I was poor. Why? I gave it away. I've always given away a lot of money, right? It served me because that's who I was, right? But I worked extremely hard. And then once I got my first retail job when I was 17 in co-op, at $2.90 an hour, right? And in 1977, right? And became the manager of 3 departments because the manager went out on maternity leave and didn't come back. Was elevated to manager for $3.10 an hour, and I worked like a crazy person, right? Just loved it. I have always loved to work, Capricorn, right? So understanding from my mom and my dad that the only way you're going to get anything is if you work, which is true for third dimensional energy, right? I have to work to make more money. Okay? So understanding and getting pretty much confirmation from something I already know, right? But understanding that when somebody brings it to your attention, you go, oh shit, that's me. Totally me. And then for me, I will look back and go, I know that. How could I? Because I was living in third dimension, right? I hadn't quit my job after 37 years of being in retail footwear, right? I hadn't done any discovery. Hadn't done anything. I mean, hell, I can't believe the person I am today. I can't believe the stuff that I know and all the things that are activated and downloaded and all those things, right? And Spirit says that's everyone that watches this video now or in the future. Okay? We all have those gifts inside of us. As we move into fourth and fifth dimensional energy, all those things will come clear. But when he says about being, right? It's to allow yourself to stop. And just think. Or not. Right? Does that mean you stop and do a guided meditation? Possibly. Steve Noble. He just put out another new one. And I'm going to sidebar a little bit. If you don't get his newsletter in your email, you should join it. The thing that comes once every month, or maybe twice a month or something like that. But I posted on my Bill Clairvoyant page, and it says a lot of cool stuff in there about where he gets his meditations from. They're channeled to him for him. And then he produces them and then adds the music and all the cool stuff like that, and then he puts them out. I just saw on the screen here, he just put out something new this afternoon, maybe 10 minutes ago. Okay? He's doing this childhood stuff right now. So he's working through his childhood trauma. He's working through his childhood stuff, which is beneficial to everybody, right? Because everybody has it. Everybody has childhood trauma, right? So I take that from Spirit, right? And saying that he's been through a lot of things. I know that because I've read about him. And he's now looking at himself, Spirit says, and going, oh, and allowing himself to channel. He says, allowing himself to receive the vibration and the actual meditations from his guides, which he records, Spirit says, and then he listens to it after he records them, and then he builds it, right? But it's all for him, which is awesome, because they're using him to get to us. That's the way it is, right? I mean, it's wonderful. If you haven't liked his channel on YouTube, like his channel. Like mine too, please. I just hit 100 followers. I'm like, yay! They send me a big email and stuff. Well, I'd like 1,000, if that'd be great. But 100's fine, because I know as we move to Maui, I'm going to use that way more than I'm not. Right? So as Phil Good was talking about energy, talking about for me chasing money, and that can be with anything, chasing love, chasing validation, chasing all kinds of different things that don't serve you. Okay, that do not serve you at all. And understanding that as long as you stay in third dimensional muck, and as long as you don't allow yourself to move forward because you're afraid, right? You're paralyzed by fear of, well, I don't really know what to work on. I don't really know what to do. Just do, right? If that means you got to pick out 2 entry meditations from Steve Noble and you do them on Monday and Thursday, or you need some help with that, text me, call me, whatever. I will send them to you because Spirit will pick them out. Okay? But that is the way to start your journey, right? Also, there are pages on Facebook, right? Facebook pages that are all dedicated to all kinds of cool spiritual stuff. Just got to go through and find them. Again, 1 step forward will take you 5 steps in the end. All they want is momentum. They want you to allow yourself to move forward, not by searching constantly, but by doing, Spirit says. By doing, right? Finding a group and go, or, okay, Spirit, you need to help me find some pages. Bring me some cool pages on Facebook. And guess what happens? Blink, blink, blink. But do you have the relationship with your guide you're supposed to have? That's what a lot of people don't even do. And it's so easy to talk out loud. It is so easy to talk out loud. Just to give them your energy. Give them all the bullshit that's inside of you, right? Give it up, Spirit says. Just give it up. If it's fury, if it's anger, if it's sadness, whatever it is, just give it up, right? That's what it's about. You got to help me with this. I don't get it. I'm so angry, and I don't know why I'm angry all the time. I don't know, blah, 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 blah. And guess what? They help you. How do they help you? They bring you what you need today. They bring you what you have to have today. Hey, Adrian, that you're living the life you're supposed to lead. You just have to allow, Spirit says. You have to allow by saying, I need you to help me. What the blah, 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 blah. That's what it's about, right? Because then as you're being led, they can bring you the thing and go, oh, well, that's kind of cool. I know where, thank you, Spirit. And that's all you really had to say, right? Because you're going through your day unconsciously saying, that's cool. Spirit, you can really help me with that. Why am I feeling like this today? That's what it's about. He says committed relationship. Committed relationship. Understanding that you have multiple guides that are there to take care of you. But you got to give it up. He says you have to give it up. If you don't give it up, that means you're paralyzed with fear. Fear serves nobody. Trust me, I know that. Ouch, that hurt. That does not serve you at all. Okay? And my last fear I'm working on now, right? Out of the blue, it just shows up. That's the key. for everybody. Because everybody eventually will be clairvoyant. Everybody will understand more. Everybody will be connected more as we move into 2022, 2023, 2024. Because, y'all, we ain't going no place, right? We ain't all dying. You know, I mean, hell, I'm 61. I know I got 25 good years, and I'm going to use every single year to be conscious, to understand that where they're taking me, I'm going to enjoy every minute. The journey is wonderful. Does it feel good at the time? Oh, hell no. The journey can suck. Hey, Pamela, how's it going? I have to send you those meditations. I just remembered that. I'll send them to you when I'm done today. It's about understanding that you got to give it up. It doesn't serve you to be quiet, right? Because I know Spirit says you will suffer alone and wonder why you're so lonely. COVID or not, right? You don't have to be lonely. Spirit needs you to help me, right? Understanding that they're always there, right? Understanding, another side note, talking with friends or family about your upset, talking to friends and family involved in the dysfunction, talking with your friends and family about, texting back and forth or talking on the phone and, he did da-da-da-da and then my kids da-da-da-da. Okay, all that does is increase the upset, he says, which is true. You are reinforcing the narrative in your soul that is connected to your soul, that's connected to your ego, that's connected to your heart. No. Been there, done that. It does not serve you because you're in sorrow. And what is sorrow? Sorrow's fear. Fear of the unknown, fear of not knowing. You're not supposed to know, right? Because if you knew where you were going, you'd be like, oh, hell no, that ain't never going to be that person. Well, that's not true. Use me as the example, right? So understand that. Understand that giving it up, right? Spirit said, give up the freaking goods. It doesn't serve you to hold on to that stuff. It does not, right? If you want a relationship that is a good relationship with a man or a woman or whatever it is, right? Then you have to raise your vibration so he or she can find you. Plain and simple, right? But if you're continually hanging out with bottom feeders, right? Because the sex is good or whatever, and you already got 2 kids or 3 kids, and you're 30 years old, right? Okay, what are you doing? First off, what are you teaching your kids, number one? Number two, does it serve you? And you wonder why the men don't treat you like you want to be treated. Because they're bottom feeders. Vice versa with the ladies, right? If you're a guy and you are straight or gay, right? I know this for a fact. If your vibration is low, if you're gay, you're going to attract bottom feeders. If you're straight, you're going to attract women who will crush you. Because they're attracted to that energy of hurt and fear. Because we carry it without knowing. Right? So as soon as you become conscious of all these things, right? Instead of going, okay, I have 3 children from 3 different guys, because I have clients who do, and I want to be there. I'm tired of being down here where I don't have a boyfriend who actually can take care of me, right? Right? Because in our society, that's what it is. Not that that's right? But understanding that when you have a partner who supports you lovingly, financially, whatever it is, right? You're able to raise yourself up too and do your thing and become a power couple. That's what it's all about, right? The more you know about yourself, the more connection you have with each other. But guess what? The people that are bottom feeders are just that. You're never going to have a relationship that is going to be sustainable. And there's very, very few human beings that are going to reach down into the sewer and pick you up, because no one's going to save you, Spirit says, which is true. No one's going to. No one is ever going to save you. Why? It's not their job. Your job is to save yourself. Your job is to go, okay, I'm really screwed up. I really need to look at myself. And that's probably why you're watching Coaching for the Soul Thursdays at 3, right? Or going to my YouTube channel and watching videos that I did 4 years ago about ego and manifestation and all kinds of cool stuff, right? Little 2-minute, 3-minute videos, right? That's what it's about. See? One step forward, right? One. That's all it takes. And then there's another one. And then there's another one. And then there's another one. And all of a sudden you're caught up in the action. That's why when Spirit talks about starting meditation for the first time, right? You've got to have a schedule. Why? Because you get addicted to the Tuesdays and the Fridays. Because they're such freaking great days. Because you just lost 25 pounds of energy the day before during your Steve Noble guided meditation. I'm telling you. You want more and more of those days. But the cool thing is, it doesn't cost you anything. It's free. It's free. You just have to take the time to do them. I'm telling you, just take time. Time for you. So Sue says, I have a print that says she needed a hero, so she became one. Exactly. You have to kind of take care of yourself. It's the only way that you're going to match the energy, right? It's just like me with receiving the money to move. Is I have to raise my vibration high enough without fear so that the money can find me. Same thing with the man. Exactly. Like Kimberly says, we both love, eat, pray, love. And this has been a phrase of mine since it came out, I don't know how many years ago. When Liz's boyfriend, when Julia Roberts' boyfriend says, everybody says I need a man. And he says, no, Liz, you deserve a champion. And that's true. And that's exactly what Kimberly and I believe 100%. Every woman deserves a champion. Every man needs a champion, right? You need somebody to be your partner. You need somebody who's going to understand you. But guess what? You're not going to get that at the bottom. You're not. You're not going to get that in third dimensional, gross, nasty, frickin' energy. And take the opportunity, Spirit says, to use these teachings, right? To search this much, one step forward, right? Into self-improvement, understanding that they'll lift you up if you allow them to. Because everybody deserves a champion, right? And that champion, Spirit says, can be you. You can be your own champion, right? You can be your own champion, which is freaking amazing. That's an amazing epiphany right there, right? You can be your own champion. Be that person. Be that person who loves yourself, who takes care of yourself, who is the epitome, Spirit says, of spirituality, of knowing. Good for your children, good for your partner. That's all that matters, right? As you lose the bottom feeders, friends, family, as they fall away as you ascend, and that you don't try to court them and say, oh, come with me, you have to. No, they're not supposed to. And this is something that Spirit gave me this week. Everybody, and he said this to me many, many times, but he re-clarified, right? Everybody's ascension process is different, right? Somebody might be here, might be here, might be here, might be way down here. See? You're not supposed to court them and have them come with you. No, this is your journey and no one else's. No one else's but yours. And you have to understand that. Trust me, I live with a person who is nowhere near the ascension that I'm at. Like I've said before, he's a double Virgo, right? He is a Virgo birth sign and a freaking Virgo ascendant. He's not started that journey yet. He will when we get to Hawaii, right? He'll have to. He'll have to. Because he's really heavy to be around me and have to carry. I love him to death. And it's going to be forever. And I know that. Right? So it's just what it's about. That's exactly what it's about. You have to be you have to be your own champion. You have to be the one who takes care of yourself. And when you don't take care of yourself, when you don't fill that pitcher, right? The Kool-Aid pitcher that's in your chest, that's your heart, with emotion and love and everything that goes with it, that's what it's all about. See? Understanding that the only one's going to do that is you. Now, do your children do that? Of course they do, because you're their mom or their dad, right? If you are receiving of that, if you're accepting of that, if you give that to them unconditionally, right? But if you're yapping all the time and it's not positive, guess what? You're damaging your children. We've talked about that before. Extremely damaging. See? So understanding that that it's about being conscious, Spirit says. It's about being conscious and being your own champion and understanding it's awesome to I deserve a champion, and I truly do. And I believe that I'm that for myself, right? But I also have a champion in Lee. See? I know I do. He's a very good guy, right? He's younger than me, but he feels older than me because I feel like I'm 35 and he feels like he's 60. That's that double Virgo thing, right? See? So, and again, you guys know how that happened, right? We met each other out of the blue. It just happened because it was supposed to happen, right? So I know. Spirit says everyone's future is available to them. They just have to start the process and be. So Veronica says, a shaman medicine woman told me, be a kick-ass queen. Hold your energy, walk in beauty, have integrity. Exactly. That's what it's about. You have to own yourself. You have to be like I'm the most beautiful queen on the planet. I am the most knowledgeable and the most successful, and I'm doing exactly what I want to do. If that means taking care of your children, if that means being in business, if that means helping others, that's what it's about. That's what it's about. See? And it's okay. And it is okay to be that person, right? Now what you have to understand is, again, everybody doesn't ascend at the same time, and some people aren't meant to ascend. And that's what you have to understand too. You've got to be prepared for that, right? You got to be prepared that maybe my partner's not going to ascend. Especially if you're a female, okay? Men do not ascend as fast as females do, because, especially in America, because that part of themselves is closed off in growing up in America, see? And understanding that you have to be you, if he likes it or not. Spirit has said independence. Independence. I'm not going to allow anybody to tell me what to do when they're my partner. Not going to happen. That's control. That doesn't work. That doesn't work at all. Okay? And maybe they're there to teach you something, right? Whatever it might be. Who knows what it is? You never know, right? And that's what I have to be conscious about and not be fearful, right? Super important. Super, super, super important, you know? It's important to understand exactly what it is to be, to allow, to understand that as we go into the rest of March, right, and April, and a beautiful summer, that's what it's about. See? Being conscious, understanding, looking at ourselves. Giants. When things come up, we say, okay, Spirit, what's that? Okay, Spirit, what's that? And not get lazy, Spirit says, during the summertime, because we've just been through a year of COVID. People are getting vaccinated, right? We can eat in restaurants again very soon. 50% capacity in Michigan, which is great, right? Will I go to a restaurant? Oh, hell no. I won't go to a restaurant. Probably not until we get to Hawaii, right? Open air. Yeah, see? So, that was a fast hour, wasn't it? Holy smokes. So, like I said, I'm available for readings, okay? Tomorrow and Saturday, and all next week. I don't have anything booked at all. I'll keep everybody up to date on what's going on with me, and I will, Spirit has said, enjoy your $1,400 check, which will start to roll out next week, okay? And he says, buy yourself something. Buy yourself something. Don't just pay bills, buy yourself something, okay? And if you have children, and you're going to get that extra money in the bank every month, enjoy it. Take care of your kids. You know, use spring and summer. And this is going to be, guys, I think it expires in 2022 as the election is rolling around, and they're saying that that's never going to go away. Okay? So understand that, right? That this money is yours. This money is for you and your children and daycare and whatever you have. Feed them, right? That's what it's about, right? Understand. Sarah said, the famine is over. Famine's over. Okay? The government's doing what it's supposed to do for us, which is support us. Not just monetarily, right? So thank you, everybody. Namaste. And I'll see you next Thursday for Coaching for the Soul at 3.